Hi everyone, it's Justine. If you watched the Oscars last week, you probably saw Miss Alicia Vikander in a beautiful yellow custom Louis Vuitton dress, which was to fall for. It's the dress that we're going to draw today. Here is the dress. It was really puffy, it has a lot of volume at the back, it has a bustier top, it has embroideries all over, and it's generally a great example to show you how to render in color with markers, how to render embroideries, and how to draw this kind of Hollywood pose. I will use pencil and black ink for the silhouette. Then I will go in with color markers and show you how to render with colors. Then I'm going to go in again with color pencil for the shading and the highlighting. And I'm going to show you at the end a trick on how to render silver embroideries on a dress. We start by drawing the girl in pencil. So her face is turned towards us. Her neck is leaving from the base of the jaw and from the chin on the other side. Her arm is a bit towards the front and it actually goes down this way, almost until her waistline. Here it crosses and it's foreshortened because her elbow is towards us. Then here she's standing on her left leg, which we don't see, and she has her right leg going forward. So this is the leg we're gonna draw the body under the dress to understand how she's moving a little bit, and then we'll make it disappear. Here's my ankle. Here is the nice curve of her foot. Here's the shoe. And then the other leg is somewhere at the back. Yeah, this we cannot see. Then the dress is here, very tight. It should always go a little bit further out than the body itself. Yeah. It's really tight here, so I don't change anything. And then the dress goes down, really, until here somewhere. There's as much dress behind her as below her, so to say. So these proportions I need to respect. We need to see her ankle because the dress is shorter at the front. Now we're going to add black ink pen to add contrasts. The eyes are at the level of the top of the ear. Her shoulder is very marked, but it's actually more shadow than a line, so I'm gonna suggest it a little bit. The muscle here, getting thinner towards the elbow. Here the back of the arm. This part of the arm has the right proportion. This one is foreshortened because her elbow is towards us. She's terribly thin. Now comes the fun part, where we color in with the markers. I have one buff for her skin tone, then I have 2 tones of yellow for the dress, one for the main color, one for the shadowing. That's going to be for her hair, and then I will show you how to make these silver embroideries on the dress. I go in with a marker. Marker is important to test before, to make sure you don't bleed on your girl, and it's the right color, the one you want. And when you draw with a marker, you shouldn't do little strokes, you should do the whole surface as much as you can, because the place where you end a stroke and start the next one, it's going to be darker. Yeah? You don't have to go until the very edges, because it's going to bleed anyways. Then I'm going in for the dress, and here, same thing, I'm gonna use the flat part of my marker and go possibly the whole way down in once. Yeah. If you're not going until the edges, you have a nice effect. It doesn't look like you're actually coloring in like a 3-year-old. My yellow is now kind of dry, so I am starting the shadowing. I try again to make sure I don't bleed on my girl. So the dress is darker where the body is. It's also darker underneath the body because the arm is putting the shadow on it. It's also darker where I have folds that are underneath. It looks like super tight contrast right now, but no problem at all. Now while this is drying, I'm gonna shade with a color pencil her arms. In front of the arm, she's darker. Under the neck, she's also darker. If you think it's too much contrast, it's probably fine. Now I need to make the sequins on the dress. To do that, I'm gonna draw things like this in gray. I'm gonna go in the middle with white over my yellow to lighten up. Then comes the super trick. The best way to do an opaque white on marker is with a Blanco eraser. Like this. Then I wait until it dries and I go in with gray again in the middle to temperate the Tipex, the Blanco eraser. And I will have my sequins. At the waist level there is none, and then it starts again underneath the waist. Sometimes you have folds and so you see only a part of the sequin, like here. Then I go in with white in the middle. Then I'm going in with my Tipex. Test this before to make sure you don't do a massacre. I will let it dry a little bit and we'll go in again with a grey pen. While this dries, I'm gonna highlight her face. I'm gonna add some brown here. And finally, I'm going in again with a grey. Could even use a black. If you like this demo, give it a thumb up. Let me know in the comments which Hollywood dresses you would like me to draw in the future. You might have noticed that I'm using a pre-drawn girl placed underneath the paper on which I draw. Here is a video on how to prepare those pre-drawn girls. If you want me to have a look at what you have drawn, you'll find me on Facebook and you can send me your pictures and have a look at them. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already and talk about it so that you help it grow. See you next week for a next video, and until then, take care. Bye bye.